Today, we solve a problem thousands of men still ignore. How to know when a woman wants to give herself to you. Even when her mouth says nothing, but her behavior reveals the truth. In this video, you will uncover the hidden signals Machiavelli himself would have used to decode female desire and act with power, precision, and advantage. Welcome to Dark Psyche. Here, we do not discuss surface-level attraction. We study human strategy because desire, like politics, is rarely spoken directly. Today I reveal 6 hidden signs, hidden, that a woman displays when she wants to give herself to you but does not dare to say it. Signs only a man with a Machiavellian eye can interpret. In the secret arena where desire and strategy collide, Machiavelli would have noticed what most men miss. Emotions are not expressed, they are maneuvered. A woman who wants to give herself will never announce it openly because in emotional power games, revealing desire is equivalent to surrendering territory, and no one seeking advantage gives up territory willingly. That is why when she looks at you, speaks to you, or even avoids you, she is measuring. She measures your confidence, your reactions, your ability to understand what remains unsaid. She tests whether you are a man who follows words or a strategist who listens between them. Because dominance here belongs not to the man who feels most, but to the one who understands the architecture of desire. In this silent game, every gesture is a calculated move. A woman will never present interest as a declaration. She wraps it in ambiguity, cloaks it in doubt, disguises it as insignificant behavior. This does not make her deceptive, it makes her human. As Machiavelli noted, people are rarely transparent. They act from benefit, fear, desire, and calculation. Female desire, no matter how intense, is shaped by fear of judgment, fear of appearing too available, fear of surrendering leverage too early. That is why she moves in shadows, where she controls how she is perceived. When she speaks to you with a softness she offers no one else, she is not confessing. She is signaling. When she smiles longer than necessary, she is not surrendering. She is revealing a weakness in her defenses. When she approaches and then retreats, seeks and then hides, she is not confused. She is testing whether you can read a language older than speech. Here is where Machiavelli enters fully. The man who understands this language becomes difficult to mislead because he sees intention before it is admitted. Emotional power is not about declaring feelings, it is about recognizing them while they are still masked. A woman who wants to offer something as intimate as vulnerability, trust, or closeness never does so suddenly. First, she constructs a safe emotional environment. A gesture, a pause, a contradiction. Each movement is a coded message for those who know how to read. Machiavelli insisted that true intentions are found not in declarations but in unconscious actions. She may say she does not think of you, yet watch you pass. She may deny interest, yet remember details she had no reason to store. In that tension lies the real game. Here, emotion is not chaos, it is a strategic instrument. She wants attraction, but control. Proximity, but dignity. Signals, not proof. Not because she is uncertain, but because she must verify that you are worthy of what she guards. And you, acting as a strategist, do not pressure her. You do not interrogate. You do not demand clarity. You observe. You compare words to actions, because truth lives in contrast. She may maintain a reserved exterior, yet her breathing shifts when you arrive. She may claim indifference, yet seek your attention through harmless reasons. That duality is not accidental, it is the doorway to the next phase. Strategic behavioral reading. Machiavelli warned that gestures speak louder than speeches. In female desire, this principle becomes law. A woman rarely declares what she wants. She communicates through movement, timing, silence, contradiction. The average man calls this confusion. The Machiavellian man calls it data. If you want to know when a woman wants to give herself without saying it, become a reader of detail. Observe what she does while she speaks. The body leaning toward you while her words deny interest. The smile that escapes control. The spark when another woman is mentioned. These are parallel messages contradicting her statements. Machiavelli taught that those who guard their reputation hide intention. For a strategist, contradiction is not confusion. It is evidence. Also observe how she manages closeness. Sometimes proximity appears through shared secrets, unnecessary questions, interest in your routine. The question itself is irrelevant. The permission is what matters. The man without vision hears conversation. The man with Machiavellian insight understands that advice-seeking is connection, and connection moves toward intimacy. Micro-expressions betray what speech conceals. Her face brightens faster than she can control. Her eyes follow you for 1 extra second. For the strategist, that second is decisive, because attention is the first currency of desire. Machiavelli said a ruler must observe even the smallest movements of others. Why would you ignore the gestures of the woman who may become your closest ally? But the most revealing signal is how she reacts when you are not present. If your name is mentioned and she smiles involuntarily, stiffens slightly, lowers her gaze, or reacts too quickly, there is the truth her mouth avoids. Desire is not expressed, it leaks. She may ignore you that day, she may even distance herself, but if her body reacts when you are referenced, the mask has cracked. And within that crack lives her real intention. As desire intensifies, her behavior becomes strategic. She approaches through excuses. She messages because something reminded her of you. A casual touch, a meaningless question to restart dialogue. She does not need reasons. She creates them. She does not rely on coincidences. She creates them. She does not wait for chance. She designs it. Machiavelli once said that politics is the art of creating opportunities disguised as circumstances. This is exactly how a woman behaves when she wants to move closer without openly admitting it. She creates reasons to see you, but hides them beneath harmless intentions. Even her absence speaks. A woman who suddenly pulls back after showing closeness is not losing interest. She is observing. She is watching to see if you look for her, if you notice her silence, if her distance affects you. This seemingly contradictory behavior exists because she wants confirmation of desire without risking her self-respect. This is where a Machiavellian reading becomes essential. Her retreat is not rejection. It is a measured test. Strategic observation also includes how she behaves around others when you are present. If she becomes more expressive, laughs a little louder, or subtly draws attention within the group, it is not for them. It is because you are there. Her behavior recalibrates to be noticed by you. And yet, she will deny it. Do not mistake denial for honesty. Denial is protection. Now that you understand how to interpret these silent cues, you are ready to move into a deeper layer of female desire, where indirect language and emotional testing intersect. A woman who feels attraction does not only approach, she evaluates. Imagine yourself as a silent strategist watching a board where no one realizes you are playing or winning. Machiavelli believed real power belongs not to the one who speaks most, but to the one who sees most. In desire, this law becomes sharper because most men panic for obvious signs. They want clear words, open statements, undeniable proof. But the man who understands human nature does not wait for clarity. He reads subtlety. This is the advantage of the calm observer. The man who does not react emotionally, but watches, measures, and understands before acting. When a woman feels attraction, she rarely reveals it directly. Not because she lacks courage, but because psychology, conditioning, and instinct push her to protect what she values most. The inexperienced man gets lost in these signals. The calm observer sees beyond them. He notices her breathing change when he enters a room. He senses her discomfort when another woman moves too close to him. He detects the faint tension in her voice as she pretends indifference. And most importantly, he does not rush to respond. He lets the signals accumulate, allowing a pattern to form. True power is not needing immediate confirmation. Power is watching interest reveal itself while maintaining emotional stability. That stability itself becomes a test. A woman drawn to a man she cannot fully read intensifies her signals. The impulsive man would have already spoken too much or sought reassurance. The calm observer creates intrigue because he is guided by clarity, not emotional urgency. Machiavelli taught that a ruler must understand others before allowing himself to be understood. The man who applies this principle treats every feminine behavior as information. Shifts in tone, unnecessary pauses, casual questions masked as curiosity, innocent comments about your availability or plans. He remains attentive but composed, present but unreactive. This invites her to reveal more. While others rush for answers, he builds understanding. He notices how she adjusts her appearance when he appears, how her posture changes near him, how her pupils briefly widen. This is not paranoia. It is intelligent observation. Everyone reveals truth even when words attempt to hide it. This awareness protects him from illusion. He does not confuse politeness with attraction, attention with emotion. He understands that some signals come from habit, some from ego, some from play. But real desire follows consistent patterns, visible only to the man who observes without emotional distortion. His calm is not disinterest. It is intelligence, distance, clarity, not lack of feeling, control. This allows him to recognize genuine interest while remaining grounded. She senses that he perceives her more deeply than she intends, that he notices movements she is not conscious of making. This sensation is unsettling and compelling. Being seen without exposure leads her to move closer, reveal more, and transition naturally into a deeper emotional phase. At this stage, neutrality fades. Behavior becomes more open, more vulnerable, more expressive. This is where strategic observation evolves into understanding emotional and physical shifts as attraction strengthens. Machiavelli warned that real intentions are never shown directly. They appear in actions, silences, contradictions. In desire, this truth is amplified. A woman rarely states interest openly, not because it is absent, but because early exposure creates vulnerability. Instead, she operates through calculated ambiguity. The man who learns to interpret this gains rare advantage. When she feels attraction, she does not demand. She invites quietly. Her signals are not declarations, but openings. She will not say, "I want you." She creates chances for you to discover it yourself. If you fail to notice, she reads it as lack of awareness. If you recognize it without exploitation, you advance on the board she placed you on. Watch how she communicates intent without confession. An innocent question, a playful comment, a remark with layered meaning. Machiavelli believed wise leaders never announce strategy, but leave signals for intelligent allies. A woman who feels desire does the same. This is not weakness. It is strategy, because direct moves risk rejection, reputation, or imbalance. In relationships, like power, the one who reveals everything too early loses leverage. This is why genuine desire often moves in advance and retreat. One day closer, the next slightly distant. Not from confusion, but evaluation. She is assessing whether you can read what is unspoken and act without dependence on explicit words. These signals are not only attraction, they are tests. The man who understands only direct language disappears from her emotional field. The man who reads between the lines earns trust and intrigue. If you can read her silence, you can later understand her depth. This is the true Machiavellian advantage, mastery of the indirect. Desire does not reward the naive, it rewards the observer. Actions reveal more than words. A woman experiencing attraction shows patterns, subtle contradictions, tone changes, interest disguised as coincidence. She asks small favors, shares personal details casually, smiles more with you, mentions preferences that resemble you. None of this is accidental. It is designed to appear that way. This is the art of hinting without confessing. The man who understands it reads meaning, not surface. From there, proximity follows naturally, encounters framed as chance but driven by intention. When all signals are connected, the map becomes clear. Women rarely declare interest. They demonstrate it. Only the man who observes calmly, interprets patiently, and acts without losing self-worth sees what others miss. Desire, like strategy, moves in shadows, and when you learn this language, you no longer depend on words. You perceive intent before it is admitted. You move with clarity. Not to control, but to understand. Because in emotional dynamics, the one who understands the unseen holds the advantage over the obvious. What matters most is never announced. The woman who wants to give herself will not say it, but she will show it, and now you have the vision of a strategist to see.